This is the Randi Rhodes Show. To speak with Randi, dial 561-270-3844. That's 561-270-3844.
So let's take a look at Elon Musk. He spent $288 million to get Donald Trump elected. That's a lot of money and a lot of ads. And believe me, they didn't talk about in those ads raising taxes on billionaires. They talked about cutting costs for American families. So now Elon Musk has shown up and said he's ready to collect on his investment. Here's one way that he may be trying to collect on that investment. You know, X, formerly Twitter, lost money hand over fist. Elon Musk has a new plan, and that is X money. That is that he's going to be out there in everybody's financial life. He faces one problem, though, and that is the financial cop on the beat. The CFPB that stands behind him looks over his shoulder and says, you can't cheat people, you can't trick people, and you can't suck up their personal financial data or any personal data and use it just for yourself or sell it to anyone you want to. Right. So what's Elon Musk doing? Well, just a little bit ahead of launching his product, he says, let's shut down the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let's take those financial cops off the beat. It is a little like a bank robber saying, I know what let's do. Let's fire the cops, turn off the alarms, just as the bank robber decides to stroll into the lobby of the bank. I think that people are beginning to tumble to what Elon Musk is up to. And I think this is going to be one of the places where the rubber's going to hit the road on whether or not Elon Musk runs this country or we're going to pull this back and have a democracy that actually works for the American people.
Seriously, that is what happened yesterday. That's why the CFPB has been dismantled. It's another one of the agencies that they targeted. Elon Musk's little 15-year-old, I have always referred to this very obscure movie that I bet you like 3 people in this audience ever saw, but you'll remember me talking about it. It's called Wild in the Streets. Where Max Frost, I swear that's his name, and we now have a wonderful congressman named Max Frost, who is young and capable and smart. But Max Frost in this movie was the president of the United States, and the whole premise of the movie was that the old people had screwed it up so bad, and this was back in like the 70s when I was a young person. And so we were going to elect only people under the age of 30, okay? And this is basically what we have now. We have the Elon, and not that Elon's, under 30. He just is 15 years old in his arrested development, brain. He will never grow old, grow older or more mature. That's why he hangs out with 19-year-olds. Anybody wonder, how is a 40-something, almost 50-year-old man with 11 kids, how is he, finding common ground with 19-year-olds? And why did he select 19-year-olds with no experience in government and no, guiding principles? And because he relates to them. They're all a bunch of little boys. They're all a bunch of Peter Pans is what they are, okay? So anyway, Elon Musk has this thing now where he wants everybody's data, everybody's information, so he could target them. He can target them with his financial, his new bank, essentially. I'm telling you, it's called X Money, but it's not just X Money. It's the X platform. It's the whole entirety of the X platform. The X platform is going to have artificial intelligence. It's going to know where you spend money, how you spend money, why you spend money. It's going to know whether or not you repay your money. It's going to know whether or not you can afford to borrow more money. It's going to know your credit score. It's going to know every damn thing about you, everything about you, and your entire life will be controlled by Elon Musk. Now, if you think it's rough now, when you have a bad credit score and you have to go to, Experian and you have to, sort of get all your stuff on an app now to figure out what subscriptions and how do you cancel them and blah, blah, blah and all that. Wait till Elon controls it. Wait till you will never be able to cancel, ever. You're in for the rest of your life. All your stuff, everything, from your mortgage to your grocery shop, every single thing. It's unbelievable. And you know what's so interesting? You know what they did with the old people in Wild in the Streets? the people over 30 that they had no use for anymore. Yes, they kidnapped all of them. One of them was Shelley Winters. Anybody remember Shelley Winters? She was like, she was sort of the Jennifer Coolidge of her day. Do you know what I mean? Where she played damaged better than any other female actress. She was the Jennifer Coolidge of her era. Anyway, she played the mother, I think, of Max Frost. I'm pretty sure she was his mother, and she was obviously over 30. And so they kidnapped all the old people. And this might not sound so bad now. They kidnapped all the people over 30, the old people, and they put them in LSD concentration camps. Where they were forced to drink from the water cooler, and the water cooler was, microdosed. Yes, with LSD. Elon would be for it, just so you understand. He's all about it. But this is the world that I think they see movies about, and they want to create it. They want this world, and they need to be in charge of this world. Otherwise, this world is not inhabitable for them. Otherwise, this world just, they just become another schnook, right? And they order, meatballs and spaghetti, and they get egg noodles and ketchup. You see what I mean? And this is where they want to take us. This is now, and Donald Trump's like, do your thing, you do you. I'm a real estate guy. I want to develop Gaza, and they're copacetic. They're companions now. So it's so unethical, and it's so for profit, and it involves so much bribery and so much inside information. We used to have laws about inside trading and insider information, green mail, and all kinds of law. No more. We don't have any Securities and Exchange Commission. As lame as it was, we don't have a Federal Trade Commission. We don't have a government office of ethics. We don't. I mean, you thought the Supreme Court was bad because the Supreme Court didn't have any ethics rules that they said applied to them. All the other courts did. All the other judges do. The district courts, the appeals court judges, federal judges, state judges, state Supreme Courts have ethics law. Everybody except for the Supreme Court. And of course, that didn't hamper them, did it? No, it didn't make them less trustworthy or more susceptible to taking, $350,000 RVs in exchange for a favorable ruling on business that the donor of the RV had in front of the court. No, they don't need no stinking ethics rules. John Roberts is not completely down with this. I've been reading, what does he think? Now, of course, that's what he said then, this is not a good way to go, and we should not have, the destruction of the United States, checks and balances, and we shouldn't have a unicameral legislature or a unitary executive. I mean, America can't continue that. But we'll see what happens, because it's going to take a little while. But these cases, you have state attorney generals across this country, like 23 of them, because there's 23 blue states. And you have unions, government unions, all bringing lawsuits against the people who are being fired in violation of their civil service protections. So this is all coming out like a fire hose at every single one of us. Every single one of us is experiencing sort of a dizzying, disorienting fire hose of deregulation and re-regulation. Well, there's no re-regulation, and an invasion of our privacy, and a president who defies court orders now. Yeah, Donald Trump has been court ordered to release the frozen funds by a judge in Rhode Island. And Donald Trump has not released the frozen funds that he was ordered to release by a judge in Rhode Island. And so now the judge in Rhode Island is saying that Donald Trump is in contempt of court. Because it's not, people are just starting to opine whether or not Donald Trump is disobeying the court, disregarding the court order, or whether or not he's talking about disregarding the court order. Well, here's the fact. The fact is he's been ordered to release the money. He hasn't released the money. Now, his Department of Justice, which is now his Department of Justice, is saying, well, it's not that we don't want to comply. It's that we have to figure out how to comply, and we will, and we'll get back to you about compliance. It's not that we're not saying no. We're not saying no. But Donald Trump is saying no. This is all delay. This is the trick. This is the way it. But finally, things are going to make its way to the Supreme Court. And, I would suggest that trying to undo birthright citizenship, that's kind of a no-brainer of a case. You should start with that one. And we'll see where Roberts is on any of this. But that's where we are. We're on the cusp of being lawless. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.